Hey guys, my name is Angel Juarez, and this is my UX research A/B testing final project that I called Donating to Hungry Children. So I started off with a research question, which was: does copy on buttons and headings influence users to be more likely to donate to an organization that feeds children? This I got to this question from reading a book and on psychology and the psychology of copy and marketing, and how people are more prone to want to either click on a button or decide to join a movement or organization depending on the copy that the ad or newsletter or anything has on there. So I wanted to, have this question in relationship to a nonprofit organization that feeds children, and if people were more likely to click on a button or take an action depending on the copy, specifically on buttons and the headings. So the first part, phase one, was to select a platform. And at least for my final project, I decided to use Google Optimize for the actual A/B testing. I used Alchemer for the post-session survey, and I used Squarespace to And I used Squarespace to build the actual website. I tried out different A/B testing tools. I actually really liked, it's called abtesting.ia, and I really liked it because it was extremely easy to just simply paste your web page and then go ahead and edit. But for some reason, my website wasn't working on that tool, with that tool. And so I looked into Google Optimize, and it was similar. So I decided to go with that. The data was available in real time. And then once it was set up, it was easy to use. One of the cons of Google Optimize was the fact that it was kind of a process to connect to my website. So I had to first connect to Google Analytics and then paste in some code into my actual header, and then install a plugin to Google Chrome in order for it to work, in order for the editor, in other words, to work on the website. But after that process, it's pretty straightforward. I really like that there were plenty of tutorials on Google Optimize because it's a well-known and regularly used A/B testing tool. And I really liked specifically that there were a lot of tutorials on how to connect it to Squarespace. Another really big thing and big plus for Google Optimize was the integration with Google Analytics. So that was a big plus. And because of the Google Chrome extension, I was just able to edit my B version inside of the program, as opposed to having to go somewhere else. I used Squarespace because it is intuitive and easy to use, and also because it's not like free paste, kind of like Wix is. It's more, using an actual UI or section to edit sizes and styles. It makes the website a little bit faster. And then finally, I used Alchemer because it's just such a simple way to collect surveys. I really like that you can simply create your survey from the bat and then have a link that you can just send to people, and they can take the survey anonymously. Phase two was the data collection, and we had to run a mini test, but I was actually confused on this part about the the projects, and so the only data collection that I got was using Alchemer with my initial research question on parenting, and I use Alchemer, because it's intuitive, easy to use, and it had actually really good customer service. And I like the way that they outlined the metrics, the visuals, the data. It's easy to read and easy to also present. So the results on that mini test or that initial test proved the original hypothesis, which was that Christian mothers were more likely to be against spanking, whereas non-Christian mothers were more okay with it. So the phase 3 was the actual A/B test. The objective for my A/B test was to increase click-through rate on buttons and links that directly led to the give page, where the give page was where you can take the action to be a part of the organization or to be able to donate to them. Some KPIs that I set apart or that I had for the A/B test was the probability percentage should be higher than 50% on the control page. In this case, the control page was the page that the hypothesis was that it would perform better, and the B version was supposed to perform less than the actual control page. So those were mixed up. And another KPI was that this give page, the views on this give page would be higher than the higher on the control page than on the B version. And this test was only done on the home page. All the other pages, the give, our story, or the about us, the contact, were all stayed the same for both versions. So this is the website. This is the home page for TLOU, which is an acronym for the least of us. And I started with the image, the header, and decided to try to touch on the emotions of the kids that were actually being fed. I had first contemplated on having two completely different designs. One design would, touch more on the emotion of the user and have happy kids smiling, making a difference, using slogans like ending hunger starts with you, together we could bring a smile. And then the B version would be a lot more monetary and about donating, but the images of the kids would be sad and they would look hungry, but because it's recommended to just have small changes on the B test to be able to track them easier, I decided to only change a few buttons and 2 headers. And then this is just the give page or the goal page, where the goal was to get people to get to this page, and then a sub goal was to get people to actually fill out the form and want to be involved, want to donate to the organization. So here are the different versions. The control version, the A version, was the one that the hypothesis was that would perform better and have more engagement and have a higher CTR. And then this is the B version that focuses more on monetary and contributions as opposed to feelings. So version A's heading is changing the world one person at a time, where version B is your contribution, helps one child at a time, addressing monetary or thinking about money. And then 2 buttons were changed. Well, this main button that says donate, instead of it saying help today, it says donate. And then also in version A, it says join the movement, as opposed to version B that says donate. So this is the first change, which is at the top. And then at the bottom on the form, I have also version A, the control, which says join the movement, and then here it's donate. And on the button, it's the same as the previous help today, but the version B is donate. So the idea is that version A is all about joining the movement, helping a child, bringing a smile to them, whereas the version B is all about donating contributions and money and using, that to help feed children. And so this is the data. Those who used the control version had an average of 10.2 page views. And then when initially, so with 10 clients, it was 10.2, but then with 16, it went down to 5.13, but still greatly outperformed the B version, which was a whopping 1.89 page views. Version A had a over 99% probability that it would be better, and then the version B was between 80 to 35% once all the data came in. 100% of everyone who visited the page actually converted and clicked on the buttons to go to the give page, but only 4 of them submitted the form. And out of these 4 people who submitted the form, they were all from version A. I then did a post-session survey to be able to get insight on the usability, so how well the navigation, the goals, the message of the website was, to get insight on the connection, which page got more engagement, spent more time on each page, and browsed through it more, and also the execution. Were they able to visit that goal page, which was the give page, and actually fill out the form? So the first conclusion that I got from the survey was that the site was easy to navigate through, close to being very clear as to what the goal of the website was. But someone did mention that they were confused what TLOU meant, which was the logo and name of the website. So I didn't touch on that too much on the pages, and it was kind of unclear, and they said that they had to Google it. But you can see that everyone disagreed, that they were confused about the website. They all agreed that the instructions were clear. Most of them said that they understood what the website was trying to do, and they all agreed that the website was easy to navigate. On the second goal, the conclusion was that those who got version A didn't feel pressure to donate, whereas those who got the version B did, because it said donate and, had the word monetary or contributions. And those who got version A felt guilty for not giving, whereas those with version B didn't, because version A actually appealed to their humanity, their feelings towards an actual person, and bringing them to a smile. But if you look at the charts, most of them are kind of split in half, because version A and version B got very different results. And finally, goal 3, the conclusion was that the test had a 100% CTR to the give page on both versions, as shown in the data prior, as well as the questions answered, but only 4 users signed up to actually donate or get involved. And out of those 4 users, they all had the version A of the website. So the conclusion, phase 4 of the whole report, was that the test proves the hypothesis that users are more likely to donate or get involved if the copy targets their emotions instead of their wallets. Copy, especially on actionable places on a website, such as a button, can influence a user to make decisions. And finally, the users who got version A surfed the page much more and spent more time on the actual website and actually signed up than those on version B, which concludes that copy does have a direct correlation on how a user not only interacts with a website, but makes decision on that website. But I want to thank you for being part of my presentation, And yeah, thank you so much.